single day. I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Hello and welcome to justcomparecars.com. My name is James and today I'm going to be doing a walk around video of this 2017 67 plate Nissan Navara Tekna. It's a 2.3 DCI, 190 brake horsepower vehicle with an automatic gearbox. It's done 69,000 miles and it's got full service history. Okay, so we've been doing these walk around videos for quite a while now and we find them to be really popular, mainly because it means you get to view the vehicle from the safety and comfort of your own home, but as if you were here in person. As I go around the vehicle with you today, we'll look at all the panels individually, looking for any marks, any scratches or any dents. We'll look at the wheels and the tyres. We'll have a look in the back and then we'll have a look inside the vehicle, looking at the seats, looking at the functionality. I'll even tell you what it smells like inside. When I've done that, excuse me, we'll pop the bonnet, have a look at the engine, and finally we'll have a look underneath at the underside of the engine, the chassis and the spare wheel. Now, once you've watched the video, if you're happy with what you see and you'd like to buy it, a small deposit will secure it and we can pretty much deliver it anywhere that you need it to be. If you're looking to finance it, we'll ask you for a deposit to cover the VAT because it is a VAT applicable vehicle. An application takes about 5 minutes and we can usually get your decision within about an hour. It's worth noting that if you watch the video and you think I've missed something, or if you want to see something in a bit more detail, please just ask. It's not a problem, absolutely nothing to hide. At the end of the day, you're going to turn up, you're going to see exactly the same as I'm going to see, so we may as well show it you from the start. Right, if I can stop coughing and the weather holds out, hopefully we can get round it. So we'll start with the bonnet and then we'll go from there. Hopefully you can see it's in lovely condition. It has literally just arrived today. We've done the photographs literally 10 or 15 minutes ago. So what you see is how it is. It's obviously been cared for, which is nice to see. There's no nasty dents on the bonnet. There's nothing really to shout about at all. And there's a couple of very small stone chips, but let's be fair, you'd be gobsmacked if there wasn't any. And there are just literally a few on there, but there's nothing really massive at all. Driver's side headlight, front bumper. There's nothing to really show you, to be honest with you. There's no nasty dents or marks. Everything looks nice and clean throughout. Yeah, in very good condition. Onto the passenger side front wing. And again, it's in really nice, clean condition. There's no obvious damage. I think there's a tiny little stone chip there, look. That's probably the worst of it. Can't see anything else. So, first the wheels. Passenger side front wheel and tyre. Wheels in great condition, there's no obvious damage. It's a Continental tyre. And I'd say that there's approximately 5mm of tread. Windscreen is free of stone chips or cracks, can't see any. We'll have another look when we get inside to be sure, but I don't think there is. Passenger side mirror back is nice and clean, there's no damage. And that is the same for the mirror as well. Right, let's go over the pillars first. And hopefully you can see from that, there's no obvious damage, no marks, no dents. The roof, from what I can see, this side is nice and clean. And again, it's free from damage. We'll have a look when we get to the driver's side a second. Before I go down the passenger side, get my words out. Before I go down the passenger side, let's have a quick look. I always like to look at the gaps, just to see that they line up. There's no obvious misalignment, and there's no dodgy gapping. And also you can see that there's not been any paint as well, which is nice. So it is a really nice, clean, honest vehicle. It is, of course, HPI clear as well. Right, so let's go down the passenger side. Always nice to look down the side just to see if you can see any dents or any marks, and hopefully you'll agree I can't see any. There is actually a tiny little dent just there, don't know if you can see it. Won't pick up on the camera, but there is a very small dent. Side steps in nice clean condition. It has faded a little bit, do see that quite a lot. Just the joys of the British weather. Onto the rear quarter, or the tub, whatever you want to call it, is in nice clean condition. And again, there's no obvious marks or damage. There is a couple of very small stone chips. Other than that, can't see anything else. Passenger side rear wheel and tyre. Again, it's a matching tyre, Continental. The wheel's in great condition. and I'd say there's probably 5mm of tread. Obviously it's got a truckman canopy, not a cheap canopy at all when it's new, a couple of £1,000 plus the VAT. It's worth it of anyone's money at the end of the day. I would potentially say it's probably been on from new. You can see that the paint match is virtually perfect. Nice to see with the tinted windows in the back. It's a nice clean truck. So, passenger side taillight. Again, it's free from any damage. There's no misting in it, there's no cracks, everything looks nice and clean. Rear bumper is in nice clean condition. You'll notice that it's got the reversing sensors and it's also got a camera as well. On the actual chrome part, there is a couple of little dints, and I don't know why. I see this a lot, to be honest with you. And it's got parking cameras and it's got sensors, and there's still people who manage to get little dints in it. Tailgate is in really nice clean condition. There's no obvious damage or marks. Let's have a look in the back. So the canopy, the pneumatics work really well. It holds up really well as well. So in the back, it's nice and clean. It has got the divider, so I would guess it's been used as a car, if I'm honest. That kind of everything really leans towards that. You can see that the canopy inside is in really very nice clean condition, and the canopy itself underneath the floor, everything is just very, very clean. Always nice to look at the what you call it, the plastic cover itself. You can see that it's not had a hard life, which gives a really good indication of what it's been used for. It's been used as a car or a van. So, on to the driver's side. Taillight again is in nice clean condition. There's no damage. It's free from cracks or misting. Everything looks clean. Canopy's got a little mark on it there. Other than that, the canopy's in virtually perfect condition. It looks really, really nice. Right, so let's go down the driver's side onto the rear quarter, or the tub. I'm sure you know this already, but it is a ULEZ vehicle, or ultra low emission zone compliant. So that's obviously good news, especially at the moment. Nothing obvious in regards to marks or dints or anything on the rear quarter, I can tell you. Very, very, very fine scratch there, you can just see it. Nothing to shout about. So driver's side rear wheel and tyre, again the wheel's in great condition. Again, it's a matching Continental tyre, and again it's about 5mm, so it's a good setup to now. Right, so driver's side, let's have a quick look at the roof, and again it's in really clean condition. Let's have a look at the pillars, and again they're in really nice clean condition as well. Quick look at the gaps, again no misalignment, everything looks spot on, and again no signs of any paint. Right, so let's go down the driver's side, and again I'm just looking for any marks, scratches or dints. There is actually a very small dint there, I'll come to that in a second. Just make sure I'm not missing anything else first. And again it's in really nice condition, so there is a little dint there. You see it? It is tiny, but I'd rather show it you. Side steps are in clean condition again. Again, there's a bit of fading, but completely normal. On to the driver's side front wing. And again, it's in nice clean condition with no obvious damage. There is a tiny stone chip actually there, you see that? So, driver's side front wheel and tyre, wheels in great condition, matching Continental tyre, matching tread. So it's a full set of Continentals all round. Okay, so I think we'd agree, bodywork's in fantastic condition. On to the interior. It's worth mentioning, you might not know, it is keyless entry, keyless go, so as long as you've got your key in your pocket, in your wallet, on your person, you can press that button there. You can tell me off because the keys are inside it, but you can press that button to lock it and unlock it. Right, driver's door card is nice and clean, it's free from any damage. On the driver's armrest, you've got your electric windows ×4. You can lock your door from there. You can also stop the windows being opened. Electric folding mirrors, I'll show that working in a second, and then obviously the mirror control. Driver's seat is fully electric. show you that working in a second. Bolsters are really nice and firm, and hopefully you'll agree the material is really nice and clean. It is in really very good condition. So the seat goes forwards, backwards. You can bring the base all the way up, you can bring the nose up, back up, and obviously the base down and up. Backrest will go forwards and backwards as well. And really nice in the Tekna, you can actually pump up the bolster, which is this part here. If you watch that, and as you can see, that fully works. Right, so down by your right knee, you've got your parking sensors, stability control. That's where you press your button to open your fuel cap. Illuminations of your clock, and of course your trip reset. Jump in. There are, excuse me, 2 keys, and there's also 2 keys for the canopy as well. Start it up. Excuse me. Right, so dashboard. Oops, turn that down. Dashboard is really nice and clean. It's free from any damage. There's no nasty marks. Everything looks really nice and clean on it. Excuse me. Passenger seat. Bolsters are really very firm. Material's really nice and clean. If I was being honest, it feels like it's really not been sat in. Obviously, these vehicles are used predominantly by people that own businesses, and they're used for the tax purposes, obviously. Director's vehicle, if you like. So, steering wheel is nice and clean. There's no parts of the steering wheel that there's no what's the word, no rubbing or marks or anything on it. There's no signs of any stitching coming away. Nice clean steering wheel. Steering wheel controls, to the right hand side is your cruise control, and then the lower part is voice command, and also you can answer your phone and hang up from there as well. And then the left hand side is basically your media center. So your on-screen dash, for instance, as you can see, you'll see there's no warnings. The only warning lights that are on it are, obviously, I'm not wearing my seatbelt, and of course the handbrake's on, and the fuel's a little bit low, but other than that there's no other warning lights. And then obviously you can control your media center with that as well. So for instance, volume control, good quality stereo. All the speakers sound nice and clear, there's no distortion, so there's obviously no issues with that. Media center, reversing camera's a good place to start. Obviously you've got your 360-degree view to the left, and then your reverse image to the right. What I particularly like about this system is 360 is nice, but it's a bit gimmicky. What I do like is if you press a camera button when you're in reverse, it will give you the left-hand view, which for me is more important. I don't want to damage my wheels, and obviously from here I can't see down that part, so it gives you a decent view in regards to that sense. You're not damaging your wheels, you're not going to knock a kid over, for instance, so it's quite good when you're reversing. What I do like is once you click that camera button, if you put it back into drive, it will give you your forward-facing view as well. So if you've got to park against a wall, for instance, it just means that obviously you can do it visually as well. Radio, it's got FM, AM, and of course DAB with a pre-populated list for where you are. Navigation, just a general map. It's a really good system, works very well, and it's nice and clear, which is obviously nice to use. It's also got, if you click on info, applications, so you plug your phone in there, and of course you can have Facebook, Google, and many other applications as well. Good one to look for is a one called Waze, which is an application that you can use off your phone, and it's basically a map. It just means it's completely up to date, and it's nice as well. Obviously it's got Bluetooth for everything else as well. Right, so what else? Center console, everything's nice and clean. Heated seats, high and low. The roof lining is really nice and clean, and it's free from any damage, and everything looks spot on. In the back, seats are nice and clean. We will cover those in a second. I can tell you, as an ex-smoker, it's definitely not been smoked in. There's no nasty niffs at all. Everything does smell very neutral, so that's obviously great news. Right, so let's just pop the bonnet. Let's have a quick look in the back. So driver's side rear door card is in nice clean condition, and in the back everything looks really nice and clean. You can see again it's not been overused, if it's ever been used, I would say. All the seats are very clean and everything looks really nice in the back. Worth noting, it's got obviously the heavy rubber mats and they're all round as well. Nice option. So obviously under the seats, sorry, I realised, under their patch, that's where the jack and all your tools are. And you can, I believe, pull these forwards as well. I'm thinking of the wrong one. I think I'm thinking of the wrong one, aren't I? You can't pull them forwards, it's the Ranger that you can. Right, so let's have a quick look in the passenger side. So, passenger side door card is in nice clean condition. There's no damage, everything looks really nice and clean. As you can see, all the seats are in fantastic condition from this side as well. There's that overmats, and underneath, again, really nice and clean. Into the back, again, door cards are all really nice and clean. Everything looks spot on. Let's have a quick look under the bonnet. It's starting to rain. Hopefully we've dodged it. So, obviously it's got full service history. It's also got the remaining amount of manufacturer's warranty, which when new would have been 5 years or 100,000 miles. So there's quite a bit left on it, to be fair. So turbo unit, as you can see, is really nice and clean. It's free from any oil, like my words out, it's free from any oily residue. And the engine bay looks really tidy, to be fair. Whoever's had this didn't know that if they'd have got a Renault battery and it had gone flat whilst in the manufacturer warranty, it would have been replaced through the manufacturer warranty, which is obviously nice to know. Not much use to you now, it's got a UASO on it. Obviously the belts have been changed at some point recently because they're in a really nice clean condition. And there's no signs of any oily residue around the engine. So there's no signs of any historic oil leaks. Worth noting, all the fluids are clean and also to the correct levels. Yeah, everything's spot on. That wire there, by the way, is to the canopy, to the rear lock. Right, let's have a quick look underneath. It's a bit dark, but hopefully you can see. You can see there's no signs of any historic oil leaks. Everything looks nice and dry underneath. So, rear diff, again, it's dry, it's free from any oily residue. It's got a spare, which is a steel full size, and it's got a brand new Continental tyre on it. Okay, so hopefully I've shown you everything that you would need to see if you were here in person, maybe a bit more. I realise I go on, where are we at? 18.5 minutes. Hopefully you're still with me and you're watching. I understand it's a long time, but at the end of the day, it's a big purchase and we want to make sure that you're happy with what you're buying. So I think from what we've seen, it's in fantastic condition. It's got great service history and it's really nice throughout. No reason not to buy it. So thanks for your time and sticking with me. I really appreciate it. But for the moment, I'm going to say goodbye. Bye-bye.